Does the idea of making amends to your loved ones overwhelm you?
Well, it does for a lot of people, and we're going to talk about that today here on My Sober Truth. Well, it's June 13th, and it's time for another double shot from My Sober Truth, living with your amends.
Yeah.
Yeah, You read this and you go, ugh.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's tough. You get into starting to do this new way of life and new way of living, and you start making these amends, and you want, I don't know about you or anybody else, but I want results. I want immediate results, and it just doesn't work that way.
Now, why do you think it not work that way? Now, specifically, so we're talking about us making it right with our family.
Right.
And so, why doesn't it work right away?
Well, a thing that I didn't understand and I didn't realize is, I didn't get to be the guy that I was. This guy who wasn't very trustworthy, who had done a lot to hurt a lot of people that I love. I didn't get that way overnight. It took a while. So I have conditioned the people in my life that love me to behave a certain way because of my behavior has conditioned them to behave a certain way. One of the best examples that I can talk about is early on, trying to make some amends with family and being really kind of upset about the fact that, why doesn't anyone trust me? And I was 3 months in, or so, and being upset that I felt like I wasn't being trusted. I felt like I wasn't. And so I talked to my sponsor about it. And he basically just said, look, he said, he just asked me the question. He said, well, how much of your life or how long, how many years have you been messing up? How many years have you been doing people wrong? I said, oh man, I don't know, 20, 25 years, 20 years at least. Longer than that, really. And he says, well, He says, well, how long do you think it's going to take them to get over it? And when he said that, it was like this whole new level of understanding just kind of hit me. And I went, you know what? This is going to be it's going to be a great trip, but it's going to be a long trip.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean,
it is a process.
And it's a process because you're rebuilding trust.
Absolutely.
When we were talking about this when we were working on this particular episode, one of the things that went through my head is think about this. I mean, you're probably there right now. Some of you guys watching are in recovery right now, maybe actively at a rehab, and you're actively working on yourself. If you're just going to meetings, you're taking time out of your day to work on you.
Right.
To clean your side of the street, do this other stuff. But the reality is those loved ones probably aren't doing that situation. And so they're kind of sitting back with their arms crossed in the wait and see mode.
Absolutely.
And that's completely normal.
Yeah.
Any advice, any encouragement you have for someone who they're looking around, they're trying to make amends, they see their family sitting back, arms crossed, they're in the wait and see mode. What can you tell them to get them through this next day?
Well, what I can say, kind of wholeheartedly is just kind of settle in, condition yourself to settle in for the long run.
Right.
This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon.
Right.
And you kind of have to condition your brain. I was so hardwired to want immediate results from everything I was doing. I didn't want to feel the way that I felt. Therefore, I used drugs and alcohol to counter those feelings. I didn't want to feel them, and that was the quickest way I knew of to get rid of them.
Right.
So, that being said, I was so conditioned to immediate response to any way that I felt. I wanted it taken care of. It took time for me to condition myself to understand that I don't get everything that I want in the moment.
Right.
And a lot of times I don't get what I want anyway because what I want's wrong. That's a whole different set of things we can talk about. But as far as waiting on my family, do you love them? If you love them and you want to do them right, just give them some time.
Right.
It's going to take time. I mean, I'm coming up on 9 years into this thing, and I beg to. I know that I still have some people that maybe are still waiting on the other shoe to drop.
Right.
And I can't blame them because I probably treated them wrong for longer than the 9 years that
Right.
I've been here.
Right.
And there's also, it's hard to confront sometimes, but there are people that I'm going to make amends to and have made amends to that are never going to forgive me.
Right. Right.
That's a tough pill to swallow because I want everyone to forgive me. I want to be the guy that I think that I am. So it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but in the end, I just have to be able to wake up and look myself in the mirror.
Correct. Correct. I love how this particular daily reading ends, and it's this great sentence: the example of my sobriety may give others hope and faith to help themselves. And you know what?
Absolutely.
It was written speaking to other addicts, but the other folks you might help might exactly be your family. They might wake up to the fact that they need to help themselves too.
Absolutely.
But it's your example that sets that tone.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing that undoes wrong
Yeah.
stronger than a good track record.
That's right.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up, I want to pose a question. I'm ripping it off from today's reading for you guys. And I'm just curious, especially if you've been around the block more than a week, how is your example of sobriety giving hope to others? Now, that may be someone who's currently in recovery, it might be family members. We'd just like to hear what you have to say about this subject. Put your answer down in the comment section below. We can't wait to read what you have to say, and I know it's going to help somebody else today. And on that note, for My Sober Truth, I'm Mark.
Hey, and I'm Sean, and here's hoping that today you stay drunk with success. Love
Bye.
y'all.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you're thirsty for another round, then belly on up to mysobertruth.com and click on the double shot button today. There you'll find the encouragement, inspiration, and support that'll help you stay clean, on track, and prospering in every area of your life. Take a moment to subscribe to this channel, and if you got a minute, stick around. Let's watch another video together.